What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Yu-Gi-Oh portion of the channel. Today we're here with another deck profile. This one is Flower Cardians. Flower Cardians are pretty memey. They're memes at this point, but it's a really good deck. I've come within one duel of topping locals multiple times with this deck. So let's get right into this, because I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Although, really quick, if you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button if you do like what you see, because we cover between Yu-Gi-Oh! Music and some live streaming video games. Right now we're doing Nier Automata and The Evil Within. If you enjoy any of that, hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss any of this. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, dislike it if you dislike it. And without further ado, let's get into the profile. So, we start off with 3 Flower Cardian Pines and 1 Pine with Crane. Now, 3 Pines for the draw effect. When it's normal summoned, you get to draw a card. If it's a Flower Cardian, you reveal it to your opponent, and it stays in your hand. If it's not a Flower Cardian, it goes to the graveyard. But Flower Cardians are the only monsters we run aside from the hand traps, obviously, and we run a very low spell and trap count compared to most decks, so the likelihood of it going to the graveyard is very slim. And then the 1 Pine with Crane, you have to tribute a level 1 Flower Cardian, which is why we have the 3 Pines, and you get to draw a card. If it's a Flower Cardian, you get to special summon it, and if not, it goes to grave. Still, again, you're not going to be missing a whole lot there. Next, we have 2 Zebra Grass and 1 Zebra Grass with Moon. The Zebra Grass can be special summoned if you have a level 7 or lower Flower Cardian on the field. If it is, you can shuffle any Flower Cardian, as many Flower Cardians as you want from your hand, into your deck and draw that same amount of cards. And then Zebra Grass with Moon requires a level 8 Flower Cardian Tribute, which technically could be one of the Synchros, I suppose, but you're going to go for the Zebra Grass more often than not. And then Zebra Grass with Moon, if it's special summon, you draw a card. If it's a Flower Cardian, you special summon it, goes to the graveyard. Most Flower Cardians have that effect. And then this one also has the effect of, if it destroys a monster by battle, then you get to draw 1 card as well. Next, we have the 3 Flower Cardian Willows and the 1 Flower Cardian Willow with Calligrapher. I need to get a second one, but I don't have one. The Willow with Calligrapher is a tuner, which is really nice. The Willows, when they're special summoned, you can special summon them if you have a level 10 or lower Flower Cardian on the field. And if it is, you can shuffle a Flower Cardian from your graveyard back into your deck and then draw a card. And then Willow with Calligrapher, obviously you draw a card. If it's a Flower Cardian, you summon it. I don't remember if it has a secondary effect. Its secondary effect is when it's used as a synchro material, then you can treat it and any other synchro materials as a level 2, which is great because all the Flower Cardian synchros are in increments of 2. Next, we have 2 Flower Cardian Palowina and a Palowina with Phoenix. Palowina can be special summoned if you have a level 11 or lower, and then you can't normal summon or special summon unless you have another Flower Cardian that you can normal or special summon. And then when it's declared as an attack target, you can negate the attack and negate the attack, if I can speak, in the battle phase, and then draw a card, which is great because it does have 100 attack, and it's very frail. And then the Palowina with Phoenix, same effects as like Zebra Grass with Moon, Pine with Crane, and Willow with Calligrapher. With a drawing effect, and then I believe it's inflict battle damage. Yeah, inflict battle damage to your opponent. You get to draw a card. Next, we have 3 Peony with Butterfly. This is the other tuner for the deck. It's going to go down to 2 once I get that second Willow with Calligrapher. It's has the same effect as Willow with Calligrapher when it comes to synchro summoning. They all become level 2s. And when it's special summoned, you draw a card. If it's a Flower Cardian, you look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and then put them on the top or the bottom in whichever order you choose. Next, we have the 3 Flower Cardian Cherry Blossom with Curtain. This one, to special summon it, you have to reveal it and draw a card. If it's a Flower Cardian, then it gets special summoned. If not, both Cherry Blossom and with Curtain and the card you drew go to the grave. And then it also acts as an Honest for Flower Cardians as well. Then we have 2 Clover with Boar and 2 Maple with Deer. These are basically allure fodder. They also, because they only have 1,000 attack each, they require a tribute to be special summoned. And when they are, if you do draw a Flower Cardian with Maple with Deer, if it's a Flower Cardian, you pop a back row spell or trap that your opponent controls. And with this one, Clover with Boar, it would be monsters. Now that is it for the Flower Cardian monsters. For hand traps, we have 1 Ash, which I do need a second of, 1 Ghost Ogre, and 2 Ghost Bells. I'd like to get rid of 1 Ghost Bell for an Ash Blossom, but I am poor and I just have to get lucky on pulling one. So 2 Ghost Bells we'd make do with. Going into the spells, we have 2 Flower Gatherings. This one lets you special summon 4 Flower Cardians with different names that have 100 attack to your field, which would be your Pine, your Willow, your Palowina, and your Zebragrass. And they do have their effects negated, and they can't be tributed for tribute summons. Now, if they're tributed for special summons, like with Clover with Boar or Maple with Deer, then that would be perfectly fine. You can only activate 1 per turn, and you can't normal or special summon any other monsters the turn you activate this, except for Flower Cardians. Moving into Flower Stacking, this lets you put 3 Flower Cardians with different names on the top of your deck in whichever order you choose, and then except for the turn that it's sent there, you can also you can banish it and add a Flower Cardian from your grave to your hand, which goes in great conjunction with the 3 Super Koi-Kois. If you draw 3 cards, any Flower Cardians are special summoned. They have their effects negated and are put down to level 2. Any non-Flower Cardians get banished face down, and you lose 1,000 for each. Which, the payoff is really good because you are running such a low spell and trap card count, and only 4 hand traps. So that really pays off, and it also has a banish effect. You can banish this card from your graveyard and tribute 1 monster, and special summon a Flower Cardian from your hand, and you can only use that effect once per turn. Then we have the 3 Recardination. This is you get to add a Flower Cardian from your grave to your hand, and then special summon 1 from grave to hand. If it is excavated by a Flower Cardian effect, like with Cherry Blossom with Curtain, or any Flower Cardian effect really, then you excavate top 5 cards, pick a spell or trap from among them, and then send the rest to the graveyard. Add that spell or trap to your hand. So even if it does end up in the grave due to that effect, it does help pay off. Next, we have the 3 Allure, because they are all dark type, and again, that's what Clover with Boar and Maple with Deer are fodder for. And to finish off the spells, the 1 Rhoda, because they are all warriors. And then the only 2 traps, we have 2 Reckless Greed. Obviously, everyone knows what this does. Draw 2, skip your next 2 draw phases. If I were to activate these at the same time, however, I learned they don't stack, which is great to know. And that goes, the reason we run 2 Reckless Greed, it goes in conjunction with our first extra deck monster, which is Flower Cardian Light Shower. Now, this monster, all the synchros have like textbook long effects. To put it simply, with Light Shower, Flower Cardians can't be targeted, and they also cannot be destroyed by card effects. So even cards like Raigeki doesn't target, it still wouldn't work, Mirror Force, all those. Whenever your opponent draws for their normal draw phase, they take 1,500 damage in burn damage. At the end of your opponent's turn, you have to decide whether or not you're going to skip your next draw phase, because if you don't, then it loses that effect until your opponent's next standby phase. So what would happen is, if I decided to draw, then it would lose the burn effect for that turn. And that's why we have the Reckless Greeds, because the Reckless Greeds would help us counteract that. We have the 2 Flower Cardian Light Flares. This is the 5,000 attack beater. And with this flower, I don't remember exactly what this does. I don't get to pull it off too often. It's basically a Shien for Flower Cardians. It can negate 1 spell or trap per turn during either player's turn. If a Flower Cardian monster battles an opponent's monster, the opponent's monster has its effects negated, and then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Flower Cardian Synchro from your extra deck except for Light Flare, without any actual synchro summoning. Then we have the 2 Flower Cardian Borderfly. This one gives Flower Cardians Piercing, and I could banish a Flower Cardian from the graveyard, and then my opponent could not get grave effects or special summon from the grave. So it's basically like a Necro Valley for the turn, except they can still banish. Then we have 3 Flower Cardian Moonflower Viewing. This is the common out of the newest set, Flames of Destruction. And then with this I can draw a card. If it's a Flower Cardian, I can special summon it, and it can attack directly that turn. And then if I activated that effect, I have to skip the next draw phase of my next turn, which would be fine if we have that in conjunction with Light Shower. And then same effect as with Willow with Calligrapher and Peony with Butterfly. If it's used as synchro material, all material becomes level 2, because it is a synchro tuner, which is nice. Now, most people ask me, well, you're running all these synchros, how do you pull them all off? Because we don't go for the synchros first, we go for the Saryuja Skull Dread. Because you are spamming the field so much, this is very easy to pull off, as well as Firewall Dragon. And then we, just as a board extension, we have Proxy Dragon. And if something were to happen to those, and we had a very bad starting first hand, we have the Akashic to help bounce back. So we don't have to worry about not having spots to synchro summon, because we do have the 3 zones for Saryuja. And then, especially if we were to link summon Proxy Dragon into that would give us 1 extra zone. So that is going to be it for this Flower Cardian deck profile. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for putting up with the shitty phone quality. I don't have a very good way of recording deck profiles aside from this, so it is what it is. But thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you guys later.